So hello everyone. Today I'm going to be speaking about natural gas production. So the I'm going to be starting this off by just giving us a little bit of facts, about natural gas. The United States is the largest producer of natural gas in the world. Uh, there are and natural gas actually currently generates 25% of total U.S. electricity. And natural gas is considered the cleanest fossil fuel, compared to things like kerosene, things like diesel fuel. The amount of waste gas produced during natural gas is less. So the next question is, what is natural gas? I'm glad you asked that question. Natural gas is a flammable fuel that contains hydrocarbon, and the type of hydrocarbon it contains mainly is methane. Then the next question you want to ask me is that what is hydrocarbon and what is methane? I'm glad you asked again. Hydrocarbon the is a compound containing hydrogen and carbon. So since methane is an hydrocarbon, you guess is as good as mine that methane contains carbon and hydrogen. Now, so what is the composition of natural gas really? Natural gas contains methane, which is the which is the one that has the lion's share here. As you can see this chart, 90% is methane. Ethane is about 4%. Propane is 1%. Butane is 4%, and nitrogen is 1%. So the same chart is I'm placing the same chart here for you to see it better. So how is natural gas produced? That is, the question is, how do we take it from inside the ground? Take gas from inside the ground, like you see here. You could have it as conventional non-associated gas. That is gas that is on top of, that is standing by itself. It is not as non-associated. Also, you can have it as associated with oil. That is, you have it as oil plus gas. I mean, that's why you hear oil and gas in the oil and gas industry. Then also you can have it inside the sand. Actually, this is what is actually called shale gas. And the shale gas is embedded deeply inside the sand, and then you have to dig way down and crack the sand open for you to have your gas. So to the gas cooker, so the question is, how do we take it from inside that ground, in whatever form it is, to take it to your gas cooker at home, or use it in a power plant to generate electricity? So I'm going to be looking at three steps to producing natural gas. Number one is you remove the impurities, you cool it down, and three, you separate it into gas and liquid. So how do we do this? So if you want to remove the impurities, at least we need to know what impurities are. So number one is carbon dioxide, two is hydrogen sulfide, and three is water. Now, the reason why we want to remove carbon dioxide is it forms carbon dioxide forms yes. So carbon dioxide freezes at very low temperature. And remember, one of the things we have to do is cool this gas down. So we don't want that. We don't want the CO2 to form ice. Now, so the question is, why will forming ice be a problem? Oh, yeah, it will be a big problem because your natural gas plant is for the most part, there's a lot of piping. You don't want anything blocking your pipe, do you? So if you don't want anything blocking your pipe, anything that will form solids, you try as much as possible to avoid it. So So carbon dioxide is an impurity. Also, hydrogen sulfide is an impurity. It smells really bad, really badly. I've been in a lab, working with it, and it has a rotten egg smell. Actually, it can actually kill at some concentration. And then, of course, water. Water is an impurity the same way CO2 is an impurity, because you're going to cool down the gas, we're going to form ice. So here in the how we remove this impurity for the most part is we use amine treating. So the inlet gas comes in, it contains CO2, it contains hydrogen sulfide. We use amine treating, and by amine treating we use it scrub off the CO2 and H2S out of the gas. So of course, like I said earlier, why do we remove carbon dioxide? Form ice and damage equipment used in processing gas. H2S, we remove H2S because it's toxic. It has a rotten egg smell. When we mix with water, it destroys the equipment. So, and then the next thing you want to do is we're still on removing impurity. So here we removed carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide, but here we want to remove the water. So, and that's why we use something called mole sieve. Mole sieve to remove water. Mole sieve is a silica. It's actually solid that when you pass the gas over it, it's going to absorb water out of your gas. So why do we remove water? Water forms ice. The ice plugs the pipe. Also, it leads to corrosion. Now, 3 steps to producing. Actually, we're back to step number 2. Step number 2 is we cool it down. Cool it down. Now, cooling it down is a big deal. In fact, this is the heart of the whole process. So we cool down the gas to using turbo expander, and we cool that to around -150 degrees Fahrenheit. Just as a reference, the coldest it has ever been in Tulsa is -27, and in Antarctica, the coldest part of the world, it's actually -27. So you cool down your gas, colder than the coldest place on Earth. So think about that. So why are you doing that? You're doing that because as you cool down your gas, the heavier. Remember our earlier slides where you have methane, ethane, propane, and other components in the natural gas. So what you're doing is when you cool down to the -150, everything except methane will stay in the gas phase. So, and this is an example of the plant. So here you have your inlet gas coming. As it comes in, you cool it. It's cooled down. And as it cools down, you have your liquid going this way. And this is the main plant. This is the main equipment that will do the separation. This is where the coldness, the main coldness is going to be taking place. So it goes in here and then goes to the plant. The demetanizer. So of course the third step, which is the final step, is to separate. And that's where you have, since now you have methane mostly in your gas, methane will go up, and since you have all the other heavier components in the liquid, it will go below. So the same thing here, you see the gas going this way, and then we call it residue gas, and here you have all this coming and you call it natural gas liquid. So to summarize everything I've said, natural gas is fast becoming an important sector of the economy. It's advantageous to have a general view of how it's made as informed citizens. And number 1 thing you do is remove the impurities. Number 2 is you cool it down, and then 3 you separate it into gas and liquid. Mr. Toastmasters.